Hi, I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Denis Kudla.
I'm Evgeny Donskoy.
I'm Henry Laaksonen.
I'm Peter Torebko, and you're listening to the Game to Love podcast.
Hey, we're back again. Another
Getting
day
used to this live business, isn't we, Ben?
in the US Open. And may as well just start with the massive news. I went to bed, I woke up in the morning, and shock, exit, Stefanos Tsitsipas out of the US Open, which was crazy. And I went back and I watched the entire match and can't believe my eyes, mate. Couldn't believe what I was witnessing.
Well, considering how he had the match basically won at one point.
6 match points. And it was just the craziest thing to witness, really. He looked like he had pretty much cleaned up. I mean, Coric, fair enough, he did well in the second set, but he looked like he just turned it on. He was 6-4, 5-1, and you just thought, it's just playing out of his skin. It's just easy for him. This is just like the Tsitsipas we're used to seeing. We just thought he's just going to be cruising through. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, what happened? And I made a few notes this morning just because as I was watching it, just because there was so many talking points to go through. And he just started doing uncharacteristic thing. He'd been hitting the ball like we know he's been doing all of this tournament, like just power topspin, just winning with that in this match. And suddenly, at 5-1 in the fourth, he decided to go with blocking it back. Just changed it up, and surprisingly, it didn't work. And there was a little point, he changed his shoelace as well. There was like, they focused in on it, and there was like something going on. He did something with his shoe, did his shoe back up, and then after that, I don't know, it went downhill from there.
Are you blaming the shoe for Tsitsipas's loss?
I don't know, but it was just coincidental that he had to do his shoelace back up again. He was playing better with it out. I don't know.
Before I give my take, let's give a shout out to the Lamb.
The Lamb's
He's here. Hi guys, how you doing,
welcome,
mate? We've also got someone else in the chat. Talking about Andy Murray. Liam Holdaway.
He's still got Murray on the brain. Well, we discussed him and that sort of demise in yesterday's live one. But yeah, let's crack on still because I've got so much to talk about with this Tsitsipas one. It was just shocking to see how this happened. I mean, there's so many talking points. Serving at 5-2, he was bottling shots in this one. It was a Coric net play he had in that one. He was coming to the net a lot, and it was just he was forcing Tsitsipas to just hitting it wide a lot. And I just saw like this mental side of Tsitsipas. He just sort of started questioning everything he was doing. And one of the weirdest things, his dad went up to the top of the stands and went and just like, as almost as if like, it's all over. I'm just going to go up there. And he came back down again at the end of the set when he lost the set. He's like, oh no, I mean, what's happened? It's all fallen apart.
No, I think his dad puts him off a lot. There's like, I don't know if they even get on. There's always just a lot of beef and controversy between the two. Yeah. Obviously, Tsitsipas is a quality player, and he's just kind of ignored that side of it completely. But like you say, he had the game won and just fell apart. And I feel like it's the title of the video. Can he recover from this? That's the big question we're going to be talking about on this podcast. Because when you have a result like that, where you've got the game more or less won, it will have lasting mental effects on him continuing with other tournaments. Like we've seen recently in Roland Garros, he lost 8-6 in the final set against Wawrinka. That was only a few years ago. And I remember him coming out after that one saying how that's really affected him and his confidence went a bit. I remember after that, he was struggling to sort of find his form again. But then he got back up to speed and he looked like one of the best players on tour again. So he's shown before that he can come back from adversity, but this one's a bit different. He had the game won, like you said. He was 5-1 up at one point in the fourth set.
It was bizarre, mate. It was really bizarre. To be 5-1 up, and then to get to 5-3, he was, Coric was even serving badly in this 5-3, and he got to 15-40 for his first match point. And it was a good first serve. Coric seemed to be saving himself a little bit, like with his serving, and he wasn't playing bad. Coric. Let's not just say, oh, it's all.
Just give him some praise as well.
Yeah,
Coric played really well to dig in and play against an informed Tsitsipas.
But it was just these. I just don't know. Like this match points, it's just a little bit bottling it a bit. Like we've seen it from team as well in these sort of situations in Grand Slam. I mean, we had the 30-40. This is the second match point. Just an easy forehand into the net and just not even close to over the net, middle of the net. Just it's uncharacteristic. And yeah, he obviously got back to 5-4. He was now serving for it. Suddenly he's just playing a weird drop shot out of the middle. And he hasn't played a drop shot the whole match. Now suddenly he just went for this drop shot and it just went wide. Then he went for a backhand wide. Then he shanked one off the frame, and it was like, what the hell is happening? You're seeing this capitulation of this great tennis player, and it was just sad to see. The commentators were saying it. It's just can't believe your eyes, really, when this type of thing's happening.
Well, Lam made a good comment, actually. He was saying it reminds him a bit of the final between Federer and Djokovic at Wimbledon.
A little bit, yeah. It's similar. Everyone brings up the 40-15, don't they? It's always the classic 40-15. But this one, it seemed to be. It wasn't just like a one-game bottle. It was over the course of 2 sets, really. Because he still had a chance in the final set as well.
Well, even going into the final set, I still fancied him to win. Do you not think? He went a break up and then got broken back straight away. Then the tie break, he just wasn't. I don't know. He made a few too many unforced errors. Coric played really well, though. I thought he played the big points well in that final 5th set.
Oh, he was done his homework. Let's put it that way. He was coming to the net a lot, Tsitsipas, and he's obviously knows that he comes very close to the net, and his lobs were on point. Coric and Tsitsipas was struggling at one point. He lobbed him. And Tsitsipas didn't even know where he was. He went for a smash, and he smashed it like so far wide. It was bizarre, really. He was totally out of sorts. He looked like he didn't know where he was on the court in that final set, and it didn't help. The umpire wasn't even on his side either. There was a great shot by Coric, which I believe it was going out just on the baseline. I think it got called out, but it was actually in. Tsitsipas already hit a half volley return winner, and he said, "No, replay the point." So he's got all this going on in his head, and then the umpire starts going against him. Tsitsipas was losing his mind. He went on to win that game.
Well, Tsitsipas didn't have any challenges, did he, going into the 5th set? He only had one. He had to wait until the tie break to actually have a challenge again. I know. Which is, you don't want to be in a situation like that as a player, do you?
There was one serve as well that was really close to the line, and he was just looking at it going like, no. He just desperately wanted to challenge, but he couldn't. He looked at the umpire, and the umpire was like, "What do you want me to do about it? You used all your challenges." And
so, Robbo, I hope you keep this passion throughout the podcast because the fans are loving it. We've got Thomas saying how he loves your passion.
Oh yeah, Tom. It's back for a second live podcast there. It reminds him of a JG Ben showdown match. There'll be another one of them coming very soon. If we get the subscribers up to 2,000, I think there'll be a JG Ben match coming.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Do you reckon you'll win this one or same result?
Oh, I
don't know.
Different
day, same result.
I need to get a bit more practice in. This lockdown, you've been playing a lot more than me, but you never lose it, do you? If I just like riding a bike, if I get back playing regularly, that serve gets pinging. Yeah, but yeah. Let's move on to the question, like you were saying, will he recover from this? Yeah. I mean, you pointed out very clearly that he's suffered in a few of these other Grand Slams with this same exact thing. And you said, I believe was it after the Stan Wawrinka loss?
Well, the Stan Wawrinka one in Roland Garros, that's the most notable one on like the big stage. And that was a shame for him there. He looked really good in that match, but Stan was a bit more experienced on the day. But it really hit him hard. Like afterwards, he spoke out about it, saying how it really knocked his confidence. And we noticed it. I think the few months after Roland Garros, he wasn't really himself. He was just he was struggling to find his form, really playing tennis again. But Definitely. He bounced back, and we've seen how good he's been in the last few years. And we was really fancy him for the tournament like this. Like he was my tip, wasn't he, to win it? So that's the GTL curse has come back.
I find it a little bit sad as well because I was actually speaking to you about him before the tournament, wasn't I? And just showing one of my friends has actually been hanging out with Stefanos Tsitsipas in Monte Carlo in Monaco before the tournament even began, before he flew over for it. And he was sending me some videos and pics of them hanging out. And I was super jealous. But yeah, it's just sad to see him go out in this way. Hopefully he can now get over to the French Open and mount hopefully a good route to the final or somewhere close to that in the French Open.
Yeah, for sure. Liam's trying his best to distract me as much as possible. He's my teammate. We play in the same football team, and I missed the penalty the other week, and he's not letting that go. So we've given him his limelight, and that's it. I'm gonna have to call him down in a minute, give him a 5-minute timeout.
That's it.
But anyway, let's get on to the other matches. For me, just to touch on the Tsitsipas thing, for me, my last thing I want to say on it is the fact that I think it will have an effect on him mentally. And I think when you're that nature of loss, when you've got a game won like that, it does play a factor in all your games going forward for sure. I just hope he comes through it, and he's got enough quality too. So
it's just a shame, isn't it? Like, we've got two of possibly the greatest players since the big three, and they've both been just bottling it at Grand Slams. We had Thiem and now Tsitsipas. We just want somebody who can get it over the line. Who's going to be the one to do it? I think possibly we could see like Medvedev looks the most strong out of all of them mentally.
To be fair, or good, to be fair. But what I would say is Djokovic is rubbing his hands together, because the last time he lost was against Tsitsipas, and now he's not going to have to play him. So that's one less person to worry about. Yes. And I think that's quite fitting. We'll go on to Djokovic. I know you said you wanted to start from the bottom up, but we may as well. Just Novak Djokovic at the end of the day.
Ping on the what do you call it? The draw, if you like, and then we can have a look.
Sure.
It's going down.
So let's have a look at this. So as you can see, Djokovic there, he played Struff. What we expected. He played him in Cincinnati, and it was a similar result. Struff didn't really lay a finger on him. Couldn't compete. Djokovic too strong. Yeah,
Struff only managed to get 4 breakpoint opportunities in the whole match, and that was it. So it just sort of sums it up, really. Workmanlike performance, and they keep meeting each other in Grand Slams, but it's always the same result. I don't know what he's going to do to change that. Just getting the other end of the draw.
He was in second gear the whole match. It just, like you said, very easy for him. Another match which I thought would be a bit tighter.
Someone else called it, though.
You called it. Buster Brankis. You fancied Buster for that match. I thought Brankis could give him a bit of a fight, but it turns out Buster creamed him in 3 sets, 6-4, 6-3, 6-2. And that sets up I think this is definitely Djokovic's toughest test so far against Buster. Yeah, and he's been playing in some good form. Obviously, he won Cincinnati in the doubles with Alex de Minaur.
Yep.
Something we don't talk about enough.
Didn't he beat Carlos Alcaraz Garcia in the final of was that in a final of event which was...
Yeah, that was only an exhibition event, but you're right. Yeah, that's recently. That was a few months ago. Yeah, and we know how good Alcaraz is. He's on like a 10-game winning streak at the moment. I think even more now.
The game that got overshadowed, though, and I thought was going to be the main one we're going to be talking about in today's podcast, was Denis Shapovalov and Taylor Fritz. And what a match between these two. Pushed each other to the wire, and Shapo really proved his fighting spirit in this match. He was down 5-3 in the fourth with Fritz serving for the match, and he pulled it back, got it to the tie break, and then in that final set, he took over. And really good tennis from both players, to be honest. This was a really high level. And Fritz, I think you could see him moving even closer into the rounds. Might even see like a quarterfinal from him in the future in his career.
For sure.
His tennis was really on point. I mean, Shapovalov, you know how hard he hits the ball. And Fritz was on the stretch a lot of time hitting winners, and I was really impressed by some of those that he was hitting, and he should just walk away with his head held high, I think, in this tournament. We'll give a shout out to Wolf. He's obviously doing his work right and getting Fritz in the best possible shape. So
what I want to say about this match is I'm just glad it went to 5 sets. Like, there's a lot of talk before saying how they might have to change it to 3 sets, and people saying that there's arguments for and against. Imagine if we wasn't able to see 5 sets. We would have missed out on this. Would have missed out on all the big 5-set comebacks. So many people have gone 2 sets down and will come back. And this was another one of them examples where it's brilliant for Shapovalov that because we know how good he is, and he just needed a bit to warm up into the game. I think Fritz was playing really good tennis early on, but Shapovalov come through. That backhand was firing as per usual.
Yeah,
and it's a really exciting player to have in the next draw, especially playing. We'll go down to it. David Goffin, one we wasn't sure if he could get through Krajinovic, but he managed to do it in 3 sets in the end. And that first set, he won it 6-1.
Yeah, I mean, quite comfortable, wasn't it, in the end? And this just goes to show Goffin, the big Grand Slam match player, really. And I think that was evident. And Krajinovic didn't really have an answer for him, to be honest. I think it's just maybe just one of those bogey players that he's just going to beat him probably each time they play. Goffin's up there for a reason. He's seeded 7 for a reason. He's that good.
People don't talk about him enough today. He's so fast around the court. A lot of people talk of him as someone, fellow players. They say he's the one guy you don't really want to play because he gets so much back. Incredible talent. And I fancy him to beat Shapovalov, to be fair. I think the experience will sort of tell. It all depends, though, because both of them, they're a bit hit and miss, really. As much as they have ridiculous amounts of talent, it depends what version of them turns up on the day and if they're up for it. But for me, I'd go for more Goffin to win that.
Should. But you never know if a firing El Chapo, if he manages to shorten all the points.
El Chapo.
if he manages to shorten all of the points, could be an interesting match. But he's obviously played 5 sets. Goffin's played 3. He's going to be fresher going into that one. So we have a look at obviously Coric. We'll say congratulations to him again, just going past. I admit we didn't give him enough praise. That's what I'd done. That's one thing I dislike about the fact that he went through with probably one of the biggest wins in his Grand Slam career is the fact that everyone's only talking about how Tsitsipas threw it away and not how he came back. It's not the Coric comeback. It's the Tsitsipas just going out. And I don't think that's fair on Coric. I think people should lump a load of praise on him because he's been the type of player who's very up and down and not been able to pull out big results like this. And we could see him go another step if he gets past Jordan Thompson in the next round, which is highly possible.
Well, a good stat here from Ivan, just wind back a little bit. Was let's see what he's got. Krajinovic versus Goffin, they're head-to-head. It's 2-2.
Oh, wow.
Which is a good one. So that means this is all to play for. Best of 5.
What's that? Was that after he's just beaten him? Or is that...
Oh, no. They're not playing?
Yeah, no. That's the one who just played.
Sorry. Yeah, of course. I forget. I'm thinking that's the next round. So
he's obviously not a bogey player. They're quite evenly... But maybe just in a Grand Slam. Goffin's just got the Grand Slam mentality, I think.
Ivan also goes to say, just give Djokovic the trophy and that's it.
It could be well like that very soon, but let's not do it just yet because there is other people in very hot form like Alex Zverev, who has been pulling out some... He had a little scare there against Mannarino, but very good last 3 sets. So, yet again, he started a bit slow, but Zverev's coming into a bit of form. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets past Davidovich Fokina in the next round as well. And could set up...
Yeah, as much as I'd hate to say, I love Fokina. I've been backing him the whole way. But with Zverev, he's playing some of the best tennis he's been playing for a while. And he's showing why he's the 5th seed. His serve looked a lot stronger. His second serve still a bit shaky at times. But like you said, Mannarino, I want to just talk about him actually for a little bit because a lot of people, he's a guy people don't really know too much about. It's because he's quite quiet. He comes across very quiet in the media. You don't see, he's not the most flair player on court, but he can pull off some spectacular shots. And just what a player. I just love watching him. And people should, if you don't know much about Mannarino, watch this guy because he's a real talent on court. However, saying all of that, Alex Zverev was just too strong for him. And I think it was quite easy for him in the end as the game progressed.
He's been warming up as the tournament's been going on, I think. And obviously the standard of competition gets that bit better each round that he goes through. Mannarino probably didn't give him his due for winning the last round, to be honest. But he was playing, wasn't it Jack Sock, wasn't it? But just goes to show he can mix it a bit with Zverev there. But Zverev's up there. He's seeded 5. And it's still for a reason. These players are in those seeded spots for a reason. Zverev, he was obviously tour final winner on one occasion, which that's no mean feat as well. So I can see him going quarters. Well, if he gets past this next round and then Coric gets past that round, I believe that will be the quarterfinal that we'll be seeing potentially.
Well, I think Thomas Rowley fancies a Fokina upset.
Oh,
Fokina
does
to
he
beat
really?
Zverev he's going for.
Well, I bet then people fancied Nakashima for the upset as well, and that didn't happen. But yeah, we obviously brushed over a little bit there. The fact that Fokina took out Norrie, and that we spoke about briefly on yesterday's pod, but that's a amazing scalp, that one, I think. Norrie's been playing some fantastic tennis, and it's just sad to see the Brit go out, to be honest.
Yeah, I fancied Fokina, though, I'll be honest. I thought he would beat Norrie.
You've been gassing him up all week, but yeah, rightly so. He's next-gen talent, and I'm excited for that. That's one of the real standout matches there. And Zverev, we've got to remember, he's not some old guy on the tour. You might seem it, but he's still fairly young as well. So it's going to be an exciting one. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, before we move on to the women's, it's just Sean was saying how he's we just need a Wolf Cilic to pull out the win now.
Wolf and Cilic, huh?
Yeah, but we're going to get on to that later on because they've not played yet, have they?
Do you want to let's go down and let's just give our picks of who we think is going to go through of this remainder of the remainder of the third round. So we've got Berrettini playing Rude today. That's a very interesting one. Who do you reckon on that?
The thing is, I'm going to be quite boring with a lot of these. I think Berrettini.
I think
Berrettini wins that. I don't think Rude's going to trouble him.
I think Rublev. You're going to go Rublev, Caruso. We both go. So we're both assuming a Berrettini Rublev next round. Next one, slightly trickier. Who do you reckon? Martin Fucsovics or Francis TFO?
Well, TFO did play well, didn't he, against Millman? But I have to go for Martin. I think he's just more solid.
Both just played 5 sets. Well. Yeah, that's the problem. You've got to remember, TFO's at home. He's in the US.
Yeah. Nah, still Fucsovics for me.
Martin's he's a podcast favourite, though, so I can't go against him. So, Martin, we're both going on that as well. The big one. Wolf versus Medvedev.
I'm predicting Wolf to take a set, or maybe 2. But I think Medvedev is going to win overall. But Wolf, I don't know. I would like to see a JJ Wolf upset. I think he's been quality all week and like a breath of fresh air in this tournament. I've really enjoyed watching him, and he's not really dropped many sets so far. He's won his matches quite convincingly. So I'm sure he's got quite a bit of fuel left in the tank. But for me, I'm going to make a bold statement. I'm going to go Medvedev winning, but in 5.
Whoa, in 5. Unfortunately, I'm going to be really boring, and I think it's probably going to be Medvedev in 3.
Oh, that is boring.
I know, but that's just because we saw how well Chris O'Connell played against him, and that he'd still had to fight off break points on nearly every service game. Medvedev's so good, and you got to remember, he's probably one of the main challengers now. I know he's probably seen Tsitsipas go out. His level is probably going to go up a bit more. He's like, oh, not as many big guns to get past. So I've
updated your name.
Poor Ben. Yeah, it's probably about right. But the next one is more interesting, which is my selection, which is Batista Agut against Pospisil.
Well, I wouldn't want to play Pospisil right now, but again, Agut. I'm gonna have to go with Agut.
You're going with Agut?
Yeah,
I'm surprised you're just so confident on that.
I just love Agut. You know how much I like him. I think he's. I don't know. I just feel like he's gonna be okay.
I'm a bit nervous. I'm obviously backing him because he's my guy. I've got him. He's my only guy left in to win the tournament.
Yeah, you had 4 picks, mate. You've got 1 left.
Yeah, so I've got to have him. Pospisil. I could see it possibly going to 5. That though, I'm not going to lie. De Minaur is your guy against.
Well, I've only got 2 out of the 4 left, to be fair, and that's De Minaur and what's the other one? Kontaveit. They're my 2 underdogs left.
Yeah.
And
what do you reckon?
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna have to go De Minaur.
This one's so close, and
this
I don't know
close,
who I'd pick. I might go Khachanov in that one.
I think he's played probably better in the tournament.
Just to knock
but then De Minaur's been all right as well. Yeah, it's really. You just want me to lose. That's why. Yeah. You're a hater.
I just want to progress further in the competition. Right, Felix Moutet. I think I know who you probably got on this one.
Who?
Felix. I would go with
Moutet.
You reckon?
I think Moutet's going to win.
I don't know. I think Felix is going to tidy that one up.
I think Moutet will win 3-1 as well.
And then Silip Bang in the last
Dominic Thiem.
last one against Dominic Thiem. I thought Thiem played really well in his last match, but it was against Nagal. But I think
Thiem in 5.
Yeah, Cilic just went to 5. I don't see him doing. I think Thiem in straight sets.
Really?
Yeah,
I think Thiem in 5. I think Silic's serving's been really good, and I've been really impressed with it.
I think Thiem's just getting going now, though. I think we're going to start seeing some of these bigger players step up now. They know that Tsitsipas is out. They can't afford to do the same as just what he's just done. So I think we're going to see some big performances coming. So
well, let's get through a few questions because we've got a few here. Puccio Touch said, "Wasn't Tsitsipas ready for a slam?" I don't know. I feel like he was ready. I just think,
yeah, he's played a few. I think,
yeah, it's just a case of something was missing, wasn't it? A mental game, and he bottled it at the end of the day. No offense, he's 5-1 up, should be winning them matches.
Yeah, for sure.
Will Djokovic win? It's a safe bet. Not gonna lie.
We both said it sort of before the tournament, didn't we? That we think he probably will, but it's just about who can step up. I think Medvedev's the main threat, really, to be honest. So from what I've seen so far in like the standard of tennis he's played, he would be the scariest one. We obviously know that he got to the final last year and so close against Rafael Nadal to grabbing that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him go all the way.
And then we've got Vizja. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Wolf to stun Medvedev, and nobody can play decent with Djokovic. Yeah, it's kind of true.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Wolf might stun him in one set, but I think outlasting Medvedev in 5 is a very, very... Rafa only just was able to do it. So if Wolf was able to do it, hats off to him. But,
yeah. I think agree with that.
Quickly move. Yeah, exactly. Let's move briefly over onto the women's side, where we had... What results? So we had... Yesterday, we had, Jem Brady.
I'm not sure if your screen's sharing, Ben.
Yeah.
If you've got the men's up.
No.
No, on here you do.
Maybe I'll take it off and then reshare it. One sec.
It might be these sharing the wrong part.
How about now?
Before you go that, it's saying we've got another question from Jatable. Is Goffin looking like he could win? Mate, you quite easily. Not going to lie. I don't know about the whole thing. That's a bit of a push too far, considering that he's going to have to play Djokovic early on. But Goffin is a real serious competitor and not a player you want to be playing. On hard court as well. That's his surface, isn't it? So
you'll get past Shapo first. And if you get past him, then you most likely got Djokovic. So let's move on to have a quick look at the women's. Jem Brady. She's storming through again. Like, she's definitely one to watch. Like you said she'd probably smash up Garcia.
Yeah. Well, we called these few actually, didn't we? We predicted these results. We thought both Kerber and Brady would go through. And they look like the most in form really on this side of the draw. And they're facing off next now. Jennifer Brady won comfortably, and so did Kerber really in the end. Lee had a great tournament. She's only 20 years old, and fair play to her. I'm sure she's happy with how she did.
Yeah.
She'll bounce back, I'm sure. A really good player. But yeah, Brady Kerber, that sets up a really interesting match. Obviously, Kerber, probably the more experienced of the two. But Brady's in the more form, I'd say, considering she's played a lot more tennis. Obviously, she's just won WTA Lexington, sorry.
Yeah.
And so for me, I fancy Brady to win that event, win that match.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past her at all. I mean, Kerber's just sort of coming back to some good form, but she hasn't been playing. I'd say Garcia's probably a bit better than Lee, I would say, as a competitor. So I fancy Brady just based on what you said. Yeah, that win previously.
Yeah.
Putting Saver was I was a bit shocked. I thought Sasnovich was going to run away with it when she got.
Well, I think we both did, to be fair. We both didn't see that. We both thought Sasnovich had enough for putting Saver, but it wasn't to be. The seeded player come through. And the final 2 sets was really good. I always rule her out as well. I don't really respect her enough, I don't think.
No.
I should put her more up there.
Yeah, definitely. And she's going to be facing off against Petra Martic in the next round. And I fancy Martic for that. What do you think?
Wait, one sec. Yeah, for sure. I think so as well.
We've ruled her out again.
Actually, no, I'm going to change my mind. I don't know, really, because I think it's a really tight match. It'll go to 3 sets, and I think Martic could have a wobble. I'm going to go Putin Saver, 3rd set, tie break.
Sorry. So pronounce Coric like the itch on the end of Coric, not Coric. Well, my pronunciation still was probably terrible there from reading it. We'd have to hear how it was. Apologies if the
Our
pronunciation
isn't the best. I'm from Essex, and Ben's from I don't even know where he's from, but
Kent.
We're both not the most up there with tennis players' names, but we try our best. Sorry about that.
Not as well travelled enough,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, looking down the draw, we had Naomi Osaka. She went through against Kostiuk.
I think it's Coric. Sorry, you say Coric.
Is it Coric?
Yeah, maybe Coric. Just let us know if that's right, Vizna.
Yeah.
Probably saying your name wrong as well. Sorry. But
so, Kostiuk, what did you think of that? I thought it was an amazing performance against Naomi Osaka. She really pushed her to the wire. Naomi Osaka really had to battle in that match from what I saw.
Well, it's second set syndrome again, isn't it, from Osaka? How many times she's going to give away a set?
This is going to be a hashtag.
Second set syndrome. That's what I call it with Osaka. And she needs to sort of improve that. But still, regardless of that, when she's on and the sets she are winning, she wins them more comfortably than any other player right now for me.
Yeah.
And that's why she's my favourite to win it. But then if I was to go Osaka, Djokovic, it's a bit boring, isn't it, to predict them two?
It's a little bit boring, isn't it? It's a bit safe. But she's up against it. Why you should be saying Kontaveit? She's made it through, and she's now playing Osaka now. And that's an amazing match. And Osaka's going to have to... She can't have those slip-ups in this match.
Yeah, no, this is... Now we're getting to the real nitty-gritty of the tournament. And, this is Osaka's toughest match she's had to play, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Even including Cincinnati, to be fair. This is a real tough affair.
What do you reckon on that, though?
It's a good question. I think... I don't know. It's hard to call. I can't call it. Obviously, I want Kontaveit to win because she was my pick before the tournament. Yeah, but then in my heart, like my head says Osaka's going to win. So I can't really call that one, to be honest.
I'm going to go for an upset. I'm going to say Kontaveit's going to take her out in 3. Right.
Fair enough. That'll be good for me. I'll take that.
Maybe a final set tiebreak.
Yeah.
Shelby Rogers. You were saying the other day that Brengel, she made it this far and weren't even really sure who she was, really, Brengel. But
I do. I was only making a joke with you. I know you basically saying I do know who Brengel is, but for me, I just don't. It doesn't inspire me. I don't watch her games and think, oh, let's watch Brengel. I've never really. I don't want to be. I don't want to be too nasty, but fair enough. She's gone out. She had a good tournament anyway. She made a lot more money than I've made in my lifetime. Exactly. Already, just in one tournament. So, fair enough to Brengel. But Rogers beat her in the end. And now it sets up a really good tie. The one going down the bottom, we've got Team on the men's draw doing it, and we've got Kvitova on the women.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, indeed. 2 sets against Pegula. I thought Pegula's a good player. But Kvitova just too much. And what I'm really excited for is, what is it? Is it quarterfinal? A potential quarterfinal matchup with either Shelby Rogers, Kvitova, and then Osaka, Kontaveit, the winners of them two. And that's, I think that's where we're going to see the winner from one of them 4.
Oof. What? So you reckon? Yeah, it's possible. So we could have a potential.
But then you've also got Jen Brady on the other side, and I think her running is a bit easier because I fancy her if she can get through Kerber. Well, it's either basically the winner of Kerber Brady have a really good chance as well because I don't think Putin, Saver, Martic can compete with them two, in my opinion.
I think if Brady gets through that, then we could see, she'll take out the next person in the quarterfinal. We could have a semi-final against an Osaka or Kvitova.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's do a quick few selections of who we think is going to win it's today's ones, the remaining ones from that 3rd round. Madison Keys. Sure. I think she's going to probably go through again against Elise Cornet.
Oh, I don't know. Elise Cornet is a good player. Do I have to pick that one? I find that one really tricky.
Don't have
to. Okay, I'll go for Elise Cornet. I think it'll be an upset there.
All right, next one. We both surely got to be cheering on the Bulgarian.
Yeah, I think we've
Pironkova.
got to go with our heart there. We want Pironkova to do it. Obviously, she's had the time out the game, come back, just been incredible. Already beaten Muguruza. No one saw that coming. And yeah, just like inspirational, really. Want her to do well.
Doing it for the +30s. Go on.
Yeah.
And Maria Sakkari and Anisimova. That's a great match. I'm going Sakkari.
Yeah, Sakkari for me too.
William Stevens.
Sloane Stevens.
Sloane Stevens.
I think Williams is going out.
Nah,
Serena.
mate. I see Serena.
I think the way she's moving around the court is just not. It's not the same Serena, is it?
It's not. I think she might still have too much for her.
So we've got a little stat in here saying Madison is playing amazing in the US Open. She's just won 6-1, 6-1, and then in the next match 6-1, 6-2. Fair enough.
And she's never lost to Cornet before.
Yeah, and she's never lost to Cornet before. So yeah, I'm predicting a big, huge upset. And after reading that, I think I kind of want to change my mind, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna stick with Cornet just for the thrill of it.
What do you reckon on Swiatek? I'm obviously going for Azarenka. She's my pick, so for the tournament. So I'm sticking with her.
I'm going for Swiatek. Funny enough.
Oh, what are you doing? Trying to knock me out like I'm trying to knock you out of the men's?
No, I'm not. I don't even mean like that. I just think Azarenka's been playing so good that a run's got to come to the end. Like she's just won Cincinnati.
Surging form, mate. Surging.
She's been winning all these games relatively comfortable, and I just think we've known what it's like. When you win a tournament, the next tournament you're never really the same unless you Novak Djokovic. And
didn't have to win it though. She's got like given the trophy after the semis, so it's not really the same sort of thing.
Mate, she still held the trophy. That's still a win in my eyes.
Oh, it is. It is.
I think Swiatek's a young player, really powerful, good player at the net as well, relatively consistent. And when she's in the zone, I fancy her. So for me, I think Swiatek's going to win that. It's going to be a bit of an upset.
But yeah, Muchova against Sostea. I think that's the correct pronunciation. I would expect Muchova to be too much for her in this match. Terrible.
Yeah,
I
agree.
apologize for this awful joke. Elise Mertens and Katie McNally. I'm going to back McNally.
It's Katie McNally.
Is it Katie? I know it's
so.
Catherine, but I thought it might be Katie, but it might be Katie. Katie?
Katie, I don't know.
Katie, yeah. But when she comes on the podcast, we'll find out. Yeah. I think Elise Mertens might be too strong for her, but I'm going with McNally just from the heart. The biggest tie of the round last.
Well, you're not going to let me do my one.
All right, go on.
I want Katie to win, but I think Mertens will.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh,
but it's all the same. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't even listening. I was looking at the draw.
Cheers.
I zone out often when you're talking.
Yeah, well, it's far too interesting. Ons Jabeur versus Sophia Kenin. Kenin.
Kenin will probably win that.
I sort of said that she's going to go all the way now, didn't I?
You've got to say Kenin. She's in some good form. I know Ons is as well, but Kenin, she's on home turf. They got to factor that in a bit as well.
I'd say guaranteed. Now I said that, she goes out straight away. This is so. I think Kenin will win this match, but Ons Jabeur, she's a bit of a favourite of the pod, really. But I'd like to just see her just take it to 3 at least.
Yeah, I agree.
But, yeah, that's the sort of roundup. We'll try and bring you some more. We'll try and do another live maybe tomorrow, shall we?
Yeah. Well, they're going quite well. We've got more people on there today, which is good. A lot more questions and comments, which was always nice. Thanks, guys, for watching. If there's any questions you want to ask us now about any of the tennis so far, we're happy to answer them. I know Lamb's just come up and asked, Kenin to another Grand Slam title after the Australian Open? Yeah, quite possibly. We did say it.
It would be incredible if Kenin was able to do it again, but especially as no one's really been touting her for this tournament either. Everybody's seen her poor form before the tournament, and she could just turn it on. Like I said, we just seen in that last round, she's starting to play her best tennis again. And I think if she gets past Jabeur, you got a real problem on your hands.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, I think we'll wrap it up there.
Yep.
I know you've got to head off anyway.
I have indeed.
So yeah, thanks guys for listening. Thanks for all your comments. Make sure to like and subscribe if you've not already. And we'll see you tomorrow for another live.
Take it easy, guys.